Yo, shalom, shalom. Peace and blessings to you all. This is your brother Inyarika, and today I got a dope video for y'all. Now, as you all know, in the Bible, from Genesis all the way to Revelation, is one big story. All right? Now, the Bible is just a summary, okay? And what I mean by summary is a brief statement or account of the main points of something. All right, so when you read in Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Deuteronomy, it's only giving you a brief statement or account of the main points of something, right? It doesn't go into detail, especially when we're talking about the stories. Like, for an example, with Abraham, with Isaac, with Jacob, with Joseph, and the 12 sons going into Egypt or whatever. It only gives you so much. It doesn't give you a full understanding of what happened or what took place. All right. Therefore, we have the other records, like the pseudepigrapha records, right? The books of Adam and Eve, the life of Adam and Eve. Life of Adam and Eve is basically just translations or whatever. The Apocalypse of Adam, the Book of Adam, the second treatise of the Great Self, First Enoch, Second Enoch, Third Enoch, Melchizedek, the Book of Abraham, the Testament of Abraham, the Apocalypse of Abraham, the story of Asenath, selections from the Book of Moses, Revelation of Moses, the Assumption of Moses, aka the Testament of Moses, the Martyrdom of Isaiah, the Ascension of Isaiah, the Revelation of Ezra, the Book of Jubilees, Tales of the Patriarchs, the Letter of Aristeas, the Book of the Apocalypse of Baruch, the Greek Apocalypse of Baruch, fragments of a Zadokite work, the Testament of Solomon, right? Then you have the Old Testament Apocrypha. Okay, First Esdras, Second Esdras, First Maccabees, Second Maccabees, Third Maccabees, Fourth Maccabees, Letter of Jeremiah, the Prayer of Azariah, Baruch, Prayer of Manasseh, Bel and the Dragon, Wisdom of Sirach, Wisdom of Solomon, additions to Esler, Tobit, Judith, Susanna, Psalms 151. Okay? And also you have the historic works, the works of Flavius Josephus, the book of Jasher, Legends of the Jews, the story of Ahakar, Pistis Sophia. Right? So why am I mentioning these records? Because these records right here will give you a detailed account on a lot of what we read in the Bible. Okay, like I said before, the Bible only gives you a synopsis or a short summary of what happened. Okay, it doesn't give you the full detailed account like these records do. That is why we need to go into these records, examine these records, and line everything up. All right, so that's what I'm gonna do today. Okay, so this is how we're gonna do this. I'm gonna start off by doing part 1 through 5. And if that's successful, I'm going to continue by doing part 6 through 10. Okay? It's going to be really interesting. You're going to learn a lot. I think it'll be fun, informative, and it'll open your eyes and you'll have a deeper understanding on some of the things that took place. Okay? So I'm going to title this video, Why Did Ham Get Cursed by Noah? Okay? Let me repeat that. Why did Ham get cursed by Noah? All right, let's go. Okay, all right. So we're gonna start in Genesis chapter 9. We're gonna start somewhere around 18 through 29. Okay, so Genesis chapter 9, verse 18. And the sons of Noah that went forth of the ark were Shem and Ham and Japheth. And Ham is the father of Canaan. These are the 3 sons of Noah, and of them was the whole earth overspread. And Noah began to be an husbandman, and he planted a vineyard, and he drank of the wine, and was drunken, and he was uncovered within his tent. And Ham, the father of Canaan, saw the nakedness of his father, and he told his 2 brethren without. And Shem and Japheth took a garment and laid it upon both their shoulders, and went backward and covered the nakedness of their father. and their faces were backward, and they saw not their father's nakedness. And Noah awoke from his wine, and knew what his youngest son had done unto him. And he said, Cursed be Canaan, a servant of servants shall he be unto his brethren. And he said, Blessed be the most high power of Shem, and Canaan shall be his servant. The Most High shall enlarge Japheth, and he shall dwell in the tents of Shem, and Canaan shall be his servant. And Noah lived after the flood 350 years, and all the days of Noah were 950 years, and he died. So it doesn't tell you why he cursed Ham. Like I told y'all, it's just a summary. So now the question should be, where do we go to find out why Noah cursed Ham? Now, before we go into these other records that's outside of the Bible, I know some people may be saying, hold up, I don't know about that. I don't know about these other records. You know what I'm saying? They not biblical. They not biblical. Listen, the Bible doesn't have all the truth in it. Okay? It doesn't. Like I told you, it's just an overview. It's just a summary, a synopsis. All right? So let's not forget what Revelation chapter 12 says. All right? So chapter 12, verse 13. And when the dragon saw that he was cast unto the earth, he persecuted the woman, which is Israel, the children of Israel, which brought forth the man-child, which is Yeshua or the Messiah. All right, let's skip down to 15. Okay, so it says, and the serpent cast out of his mouth water as a flood after the woman, that he might cause her to be carried away of the flood. All right, the flood represents the lies, okay, the lies that were created by the Roman Catholic Church, the heathens, that he might cause her, the Israelites, the children of Israel, to be carried away of the lies, the flood. All right. So verse 16, and the earth helped the woman, Mother Earth, praise the Most High for Mother Earth. And it says, and the earth helped the woman, the children of Israel, and the earth opened her mouth and swallowed up the flood, which the dragon cast out of his mouth. So basically saying that the earth opened up her mouth and swallowed the lies which the dragon cast out of his mouth. All right. And the dragon was wroth with the woman and went to make war with the remnant of her seed, which keep the commandments of the Most High and have the testimony of Yeshua. And to get more confirmation on the earth helping the woman, because we know that a lot of our records were hid in the earth and in the caves. Okay. So we're going to go to the book of Enoch. I'm going to just read chapter 104, starting at verse 10. It says, and now I know this mystery, that many sinners will alter and distort the words of truth, and speak evil words and lie, and concoct great fabrications and write books in their own words. Okay. But when they write my words exactly in their languages and do not alter or omit anything from my words, but write everything exactly, everything that I testified about before, then I know another mystery, that books would be given to the righteous and wise, and would be a source of joy and truth and much wisdom. And books would be given to them, and they will believe in them and rejoice over them. And all the righteous who have learnt from them all the ways of truth will be glad. And in those days, says the Most High, they shall call and testify to the sons of the earth about the wisdom in them. Show it to them, for you are their leaders, and the rewards will be over all the earth. For my son and I will join ourselves with them forever in the paths of uprightness during their lives, and you will have peace. Rejoice, you sons of uprightness. You did. So let's get it. All right, so the first account that we're going to go into and read from is the book of Jasher. All right, and for those of you who don't know, the book of Jasher is actually mentioned in the scriptures. Don't believe me? Let's take a look. All right, Joshua chapter 10, verse 13. And the sun stood still, and the moon stayed, until the people had avenged themselves upon their enemies. Is not this written in the book of Jasher? So the sun stood still in the midst of heaven, and hasted not to go down about a whole day. All right, if that's not enough, let's get another witness. 2 Samuel chapter 1, verse 18. Also, he bade them teach the children of Judah the use of the bow. Behold, it is written in the book of Jasher. All right, so going back to the book of Jasher, we in chapter 7, and we're going to go down to verse 23. All right, and we're going to read to verse 30. So, Jasher chapter 7, verse 23. And Cush, the son of Ham, the son of Noah, took a wife in those days in his old age, and she bare a son, and they called his name Nimrod. No, you all know who that is. Saying, at that time the sons of men again began to rebel and transgress against the Most High. And the child grew up, and his father loved him exceedingly, for he was the son of his old age. And the garments of skin which the Most High made for Adam and his wife when they went out of the garden were given to Cush. Now we know that the skins that the Most High sent an angel down to make for Adam and Eve were the sheepskins that they found by the sea. And how we know that? Well, you can read that in the book of Adam and Eve on your own time. Okay. Verse 25. For after the death of Adam and his wife, the garments were given to Enoch, okay, the son of Jared. And when Enoch was taken up to the Most High, he gave them to Methuselah, his son. And at the death of Methuselah, Noah took them and brought them to the ark. And they were with him until he went out of the ark. And in their going out, Ham stole those garments from Noah, his father, and he took them and hid them from his brothers. And when Ham begat his firstborn Cush, he gave him the garments in secret, and they were with Cush many days. And Cush also concealed them from his sons and brothers. And when Cush had begotten Nimrod, he gave him those garments through his love for him. And Nimrod grew up. And when he was 20 years old, he put on those garments. And Nimrod became strong when he put on the garments, and the Most High gave him might and strength. And he was a mighty hunter in the earth. Yeah, he was a mighty hunter in the field. And he hunted the animals, and he built altars, and he offered upon them the animals before the Lord. All right. So we see here in the first account in the book of Jasher that Noah's son Ham stole some garments from him. Okay. So when Noah woke up out of his drunkenness, he realized that his garments was gone, and he knew that Ham did it. All right. So that's why Noah cursed Ham. But that's not it, though. Let's go into another record to get more information on this. Okay, so we're in the book of Jubilees now. All right. And for those of you who don't know or never heard of the book of Jubilees, look, the book of Jubilees, sometimes called the Lesser Genesis, is an ancient Hebrew work of 50 chapters, considered canonical by the Ethiopian Orthodox Church, as well as Beta Israel, the Ethiopian Jews, where it is shown as the book of division or book of time. All right. And to get some confirmation on this, we're going to go to 2nd Ezra in the Apocrypha, chapter 14. Okay. And let me read this right here. All right. So 2nd Ezra chapter 14, verse 1, it says, on the third day, while I was sitting under an oak, behold, a voice came out of a bush opposite me and said, Ezra, Ezra. And I said, here I am, Lord. And I rose to my feet. Then he said to me, I revealed myself in a bush and spoke to Moses when my people were in bondage in Egypt. And I sent him and led my people out of Egypt, and I led him up on Mount Sinai, where I kept him with me many days. And I told him many wondrous things, And I showed him the secrets of the times and declared to him the end of the times. Then I commanded him, saying, these words you shall publish openly, and these you shall keep secret. So the book of Jubilees is one of those records that he kept secret. All right. So going back to Jubilees. Okay, we're in Jubilees chapter 7, verse 7. And let's get this interpretation of what happened with Noah and Ham. So verse 7, it says, and it was evening, and he went into his tent, and being drunken, he lay down and slept, and was uncovered in his tent as he slept. And Ham saw Noah his father naked, and went forth and told his two brethren without. And Shem took his garment and arose, he and Japheth, and they placed the garment on their shoulders, and went backward, and covered the shame of their father, and their faces were backward. And Noah awoke from his sleep, and knew all that his youngest son had done unto him. And he cursed his son, and said, cursed be Canaan, and enslaved servant shall he be unto his brethren. And he blessed Shem, and said, blessed be the most high power of Shem, and Canaan shall be his servant. The Most High shall enlarge Japheth, and the Most High shall dwell in the dwelling of Shem, and Canaan shall be his servant. And Ham knew that his father had cursed his youngest son, and he was displeased that he had cursed his son. And he departed from his father, he and his sons with him, Cush and Mizraim, and Put or Phut and Canaan. And he built for himself a city, and called its name after the name of his wife. I'm not even finna try to pronounce that, but just like in Jasher, Jasher told you how Ham stole the garments of his father and passed them down to Nimrod, right? So this record right here tells you that he got mad and he dipped. Let's go to another record. So next we're going to go into Josephus. And for those of you who don't know who Josephus is, well, Flavius Josephus is his name, or Titus Flavius Josephus was his name. He was born in Jerusalem. He died in Rome. He was a historian and a so-called Jewish scholar, okay? And on your own time, you can look him up, you feel me? You can get his book and read it, you know what I'm saying? So basically what he did was he recorded a lot of what went on in 70 AD when the Romans came and invaded Jerusalem or whatever and all that good stuff. But anywho, let's get his interpretation on what happened with Noah and Ham. Chapter 6, paragraph 3. Okay, so Noah, when after the deluge, the earth was resettled in its former condition, set about its cultivation, and when he had planted it with vines, and when the fruit was ripe, and he had gathered the grapes in their season, and the wine was ready for use, he offered sacrifice and feasted, and being drunk, he fell asleep, and lay naked in an unseemly manner. When his youngest son saw this, he came laughing, and showed him to his brethren. But they covered their father's nakedness. And when Noah was made sensible of what had been done, he prayed for prosperity to his other sons. But for Ham, he did not curse him by reason of his nearness in blood, but cursed his prosperity. And when the rest of them escaped that curse, the Most High inflicted it on the children of Canaan. But as to these matters, we shall speak more hereafter. All right. So here we kind of see something a little different. We get a different interpretation, right? Josephus is saying that when Ham seen Noah naked, he was laughing at him. And as he was laughing, you know, he told his brothers, and that caused them to go in and cover Noah. Okay. So here it doesn't tell you that he stole anything. It doesn't mention anything about garments or nothing like that. All right. But like I said, this is just another interpretation. Keep in mind that Josephus, his book is just a history book. Okay. It's not mentioned in the scriptures or anything like that. He's just a historian or whatever. So he's just giving you his account or what research he did, you know. Yeah, that's it on that. So the next record that we're going to go into is the Legend of the Jews. And let me tell you, I didn't know anything about this record until a couple months ago. Started reading it and found it interesting. My advice to anyone out there that's reading, these records or whatever, when you come across this one, be cautious. Okay? Use discernment, because it goes into some crazy stuff. And some of it doesn't necessarily line up with scripture, but some of it does. But like I say, you just have to use discernment and pray to the Most High to give you insight. All right, so we're down here in Noah's story. Okay, the curse of drunkenness. I want to read all of this because I'm going to show you the reason why I said it's interesting. All right, so it says, okay, the curse of drunkenness. Noah lost his epithet, the pious, when he began to occupy himself with the growing of the vine. He became a man of the ground, and his first attempt to produce wine at the same time produced the first to drink to excess, the first to utter curses upon his associates, and the first to introduce slavery. This is the way it all came about. Noah found the vine which Adam had taken with him from paradise when he was driven forth. He tasted the grapes upon it, and finding them palatable, he resolved to plant the vine and tend it. On the selfsame day on which he planted it, it bore fruit. He put it in the winepress, drew off the juice, drank it, became drunken, and was dishonored all on one day. His assistant in the work of cultivating the vine was Satan, who had happened along at the very moment when he was engaged in planting the slip he had found. Satan asked him, "What is it thou art planting here?" Noah, "A vineyard." Satan, "And what may be the qualities of what it produces?" Noah, "The fruit it bears is sweet, be it dry or moist. It yields wine that rejoiceth the heart of man." Satan, "Let us go into partnership in this business of planting a vineyard." Noah agreed. Satan thereupon slaughtered a lamb, and then in succession a lion, a pig, and a monkey. The blood of each as it was killed he made to flow under the vine. Thus he conveyed to Noah what the qualities of wine are. Before man drinks of it, he is innocent as a lamb. If he drinks it moderately, he feels as strong as a lion. If he drinks more of it than he can bear, he resembles the pig. And if he drinks to the point of intoxication, then he behaves like a monkey. He dances around, sings, talks obscenely, and knows not what he's doing. This deterred Noah no more than did the example of Adam, whose fall had also been due to wine. Didn't know that. For the forbidden fruit had been the grape, with which he had made himself drunk. In his drunken condition, Noah betook himself to the tent of his wife. His son Ham saw him there, and he told his brothers what he had noticed, and said, "The first man had but 2 sons, and one slew the other. This man Noah has 3 sons, yet he desires to beget a 4th besides." Nor did Ham rest satisfied with these disrespectful words against his father. He added to this sin of irreverence the still greater outrage of attempting to perform an operation upon his father designed to prevent procreation. Whoa. See what I'm saying? When Noah awoke from his wine and became sober, he pronounced a curse upon Ham in the person of his youngest son, Canaan. To Ham himself, he could do no harm, for the Most High had conferred a blessing upon Noah and his 3 sons as they departed from the ark. Therefore, he put the curse upon the firstborn son of the son that had prevented him from begetting a younger son than the 3 he had. The descendants of Ham through Canaan therefore have red eyes, because Ham looked upon the nakedness of his father. They have misshapen lips, because Ham spoke with his lips to his brothers about the unseemly condition of his father. They have twisted curly hair. Because Ham turned and twisted his head round to see the nakedness of his father. I wonder what they tried to say here. And they go about naked, because Ham did not cover the nakedness of his father. Thus he was requited, for it is the way of the Most High to mete out punishment, measure for measure. Canaan had to suffer vigorously for his father's sin, yet some of the punishment was inflicted upon him on his own account, for it had been Canaan who had drawn the attention of Ham to Noah's revolting condition. So basically it's saying that it was Canaan who told Ham that Noah was naked. That's what they're saying here. All right. So it says, it appears was but the worthy father of such a son. The last will and testament of Canaan addressed to his children read as follows: speak not the truth, hold not yourselves aloof from theft, lead a dissolute life, hate your master with an exceeding great hate, and love one another. All right. So there you have it. We went into like a few records to pull some things out. We went into the scriptures first to show what took place as far as Noah cursing Ham, but it didn't give you a full detailed account. So we went into the book of Jasher, and the book of Jasher told you that he stole some garments and passed those garments down to Nimrod, right? And we went into the book of Jubilees, and in the book of Jubilees, it pretty much says the same thing it says in the scriptures, but only thing it added was that after Noah cursed Ham, Ham got mad and dipped out, all right, and found some more land and built himself a city or whatever, right? So after that, we went into Josephus. Now, this is where things start to change a little bit, you know, in context. So basically, in Josephus, saying the same thing up until the point where it says when Ham saw Noah naked. Says that Ham was laughing, you know, and he went off laughing to his brothers, and that's what caused his brothers to go in and cover Noah up. Okay, it doesn't mention anything about Ham stealing the garments or anything like that. Then it gets really crazy when we go into the legend of the Jews. Now in this record, it's saying that that man Ham went in there and performed the operation on his father. Now what that operation was, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. It's wild, man. I don't know. You know, it's saying that he performed the operation on him. That way he couldn't procreate. All right. So in my mind, you know, I'm thinking like, okay, I don't know how the technology was at that time. And he tried to prevent his father from having any more children. So snip, you know what I'm saying? I don't know. But like I say, at the end of the day, I don't know if I can take that as truth. That's just something that's out there. You know, that's another record or whatever. But yeah, like I say, man, I hope this was fun for you to read along with me going into these other records. I honestly think, in my opinion, you know, just reading all of them, basically examining and lining them up, I think that the book of Jasher is the most accurate. And the reason why I say that is because of what we're going to go into in part 2, starting with Nimrod and the garments and Esau's run into with Nimrod and Esau's death. Okay, so we're going to continue on in part 2. All right, I just want to end this video by saying shalom, peace and light to you all. I love y'all, man.